Okay, I don't know if you can see this. Let's see. Let's get out of here. Okay, Andrew Conboy for President.com. We're going to go over the phonetics. Okay, the Phoenicians. Okay, the letter M. The development of the letter M. The letter probably started as a picture sign of water, as an Egyptian hieroglyphic writing, and in a very early Semitic writing that was used about 1500 BCE on the Sinai Peninsula. So I'm not going to go and read through all these, but it's pretty interesting to note that like C and K are related, and a lot of these letters are related. And that's another thing I want to figure out is like, who made up all these letters? You know, who decided like we were going to go off this code? That's what I want to find out, and I've got a pretty good idea. Okay, I've got a pretty good idea, but it's just like the words are in all the languages. It doesn't matter which language they are. They're all designed to take us apart from where like our home base, like our raw human emotion. One thing I found myself being alone a lot. This was when my daughters were illegally taken from me by this sham of a justice system and the lies from their mother. Like, I spent a lot of time alone and I didn't talk much. I learned and I read and I thought a lot, and I cried a lot more. I found different emotions inside of me that I never knew I really could access. So then I realized you have like a Walgreens inside of your brain to deal with stuff without words. Like, it's like every word that comes out of our mouth, you'll find this in a conversation. Let's just take yourself into a party at a graduation party, for instance, and you're just a random person, and you start talking about, like, let's say it's politics or sports, anything, and where that conversation started is definitely not where you thought the finish point was. And some of us walk away from those conversations either baffled, confused, more angry than we entered the conversation, and we start judging the person, you know what I mean? Based on the words that it was probably just miscommunication or bad decoding and encoding of signals that are being uploaded and downloaded during that conversation. Like I talked about earlier, laws of probability. Like, the more things you put into a system, the more stuff can go wrong with it. Like, the same thing with words. The more words you put into laws, like, the more stuff this guy's gonna find wrong with it. That's all I've done. For example, like, I just went over syllogisms. Like, Thomson Reuters put a Raspberry Pi in my home. Okay, I caught them. They should be held accountable. I mean, I have hard evidence. That's like cut and dry. And here's the other thing: like, Thomson Reuters prints all your law books, judges. So that's another conflict of interest. Like, my former employer, who's literally stage 5 clinger stalking me, like literally the Nazi Gestapo. That's literally what their follow-up. See who runs them, the Oppermans. Okay, that's a huge conflict of interest. Like, every word that you studied from as judges has come from these people. My former employer. So that's another conundrum we're in that we need to figure out together. Like, to be adults about it and not, you know what I mean? What you guys have been doing to me. Just childish. You guys, the adults, have been acting like children. And I consider myself a child because I don't want to grow up and be like you people. Ever. The stuff you were able to put me through, I mean, should be ashamed, really. Like, as professionals, like, look at you, like, judges, look at the crime rate. Like, you break more, like I say to doctors, you've broken more laws than any criminal in this country. Every time you go in that courtroom, you break laws. Just by taking money. Okay? So stop you're gonna stop. You could be part of the solution. You're only gonna make things worse if you keep going on with the system. The system does not work for anybody, including you at the end of the day. Makes you lose your moral compass and your humanity. Really. Look at what you've done to families across the country. Well, you sit there and break more laws than all of us. So I'm sick of it. You need to look in the mirror All of you. Just like I've been saying to police officers and lawyers, basically every profession, athletes. I'm going down the line here. I'm not taking it lightly on anybody, myself included. I beat myself up over this last year, over where our country's at. So, and like politicians, we can, you know, like we can chirp them all day, but it's our fault. We let these clowns get in office. You know what I mean? They're clowns. Huh. So stop. I mean, judges, you're very smart people. Lawyers, you're very smart people. Unlike these politicians, sadly. So use your intelligence and get out of, help us all get out of this nightmare that we've all put ourselves in. All of us, myself included. Now it's time for you to look in the mirror. And do you want to live on a planet that only feeds us? Basically, first world countries. Ugh, we're too good for third world countries. Do you want to live on a planet like that? I don't think so. Just that alone should tell you want to, like, million children in America go missing every year due to child trafficking because these rich clowns. And you know it. It's why you tried to shut me up. Because Thomson Reuters, the people who print the brainwashing books that you read and study by, literally every word. Think about that. West Publishing, Thomson Reuters, they print every single law book in your law libraries. So, huge conflict of interest that we need to figure out. And that's why you should, that's why I'm going to be president. I will be your president because there's literally nobody smarter than me right now, nobody hungrier than me right now, nobody that wants to see change. So, you can play all your little games all you want. I'm not going to stop speaking up. I'm not going to stop proving you that you're breaking the law more than any American every day as a judge. How many times do you sit on the bench? Each day? I mean, just like doctors, like they're leading us in like deaths out of any profession. You're leading us in crimes. I just go by the stats, the laws that they put out there for us, okay? I love you.